All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they work in your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Good morning. Another beautiful day. Another episode in the morning. I'm joined by Greg, Amon, and Dustin. Greg, how are you today?
Doing good, man. Doing good. It's Thursday. One step closer to one day closer to Friday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Amon, how you feeling?
Feeling better, getting over a little bit of a cold. So Celtics won and it's getting windier in Buffalo, so things are looking up.
It's kind of funny. Russ is horrible at shooting the ball. He says, "I'll figure out how to get him a shooting slump." Bro, your whole career's been a shooting slump. Like, what are you doing here? Dustin, how you feeling today, my guy?
Just on my way back from Chicago right now, but feeling good.
Man, I watched that Bulls game last night. I've never laughed so hard in my entire life.
Yeah.
I really never did, bro. I never did because the Chicago was there until they weren't.
Yeah.
Like, it was a close game until I think the Nets went on like a 30-8 run.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no exaggeration. It was something like that. And I'm like,
A 28-8 run that spanned 5 minutes and 12 seconds.
Say that one more time, Dustin.
A 28-8 run that spanned 5 minutes and 12 seconds.
Like it was brutal. It was brutal. And then on top of that, it was kind of like they weren't really playing deep. The Nets, not Nets. The Bulls kind of really weren't playing that well at defense. And then on top of that, you combine that with the fact that like they just were missing shots. Like, it's like everyone and their mom was just straight up cold.
Yeah.
Greg, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's fair to say that the Nets are officially back? By the way, Freddie Henderson, can we cut Russ? I mean, look, bro, I'm not trying to be mean, but honestly, where the Lakers are right now, even if you cut Russ, I don't think that makes any difference. I don't know if it does. I mean, it might, but I don't know if it does. But Greg, the big three played. Kevin Durant gave the Nets 27 points, shooting 7 for 10 from the field. Thank God I got him on my fantasy. Kyrie Irving gave you 9. He struggled. Went 4 for 10. James Harden gave you 25 and 16.
Yes.
Might I add?
Mm-hmm.
Pride, wasn't your friend a little right? Bulls might be a first-round bust. He's going to be here. Ron is going to come back, and I'm going to let him speak his piece. I'm going to let him speak his mind. Freddie says if they cut Russ, they would instantly be a better team. An undrafted rookie played better than him. Hold all those thoughts, Freddie. We'll talk about it, I assure you. Before we get there, Greg, Brooklyn Nets, is the Eastern Conference their conference to lose?
It looked like it last night. I mean, their record now, I guess, when all of the big three is in the lineup is 13-3 or something like that. Yep. So, when they're all playing, the Nets are hard to beat. Kevin Durant shooting 70% from that's ridiculous in his own self. And then,
but is it really ridiculous? Because this is Kevin Durant we're talking about.
Yeah, it's Kevin Durant.
Really ridiculous.
But still, you look at it, it's like this is not supposed to be like. So, I mean, Durant did his thing yesterday. James Harden came up clutch. 25 and 16. Kyrie is going to take him some time to kind of, get in the field. So not too concerned about him only having 9. Yeah, the Nets are now, to me, the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. The Bulls played good up until late in the third, and then that fourth quarter was just god awful. So they still got some work. I still think the Bulls can make a playoff run, but when you're playing the best player on the planet and he's on his game.
LeBron got traded?
No. I'm talking about Durant. I'm talking about Durant.
My bad.
When you're playing the best player in basketball and he's can't miss. I mean, what else is there to do? I mean, they scored 138. And I'm looking at the line. DeRozan only had 19.
Mm-hmm. He had 19.
And Alonzo only had 9.
Yep.
So, I still now, let's not get too carried away and start saying that the Bulls suck now, because that's not true. It was just one bad game, but in order for them to make that deep playoff run and possibly push Brooklyn to the brink, if they do meet in the playoffs, they have to play better defense on them. You play better defense and then hope that AD has some off games, in that series. But yeah, the Nets are the team to beat in the Eastern Conference Finals. Yes.
Okay. All right. Aman, explain to me something. How important is it to have a guy like Patty Mills to be able to come off your bench and give you 21? We're talking about how impressive it was for KD. Patty Mills also shot 7 for 10. 6 for 8 from 3. How important is that to this Brooklyn Nets team?
Oh, it's so important because you talk about him coming off the bench. In certain situations, he might have to start when Kyrie's not playing. So you're going to need him to put up these type of performances. And to his credit, he's kind of done this his whole career, right? When he was in San Antonio with Tony Parker, come off the bench and he put up big time performances, whether it's in the finals or the playoffs. And to have that depth is what Brooklyn, I think, values the most, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to have games without Kyrie Irving. And to have someone like Patty Mills who can come in and give you valuable points, it's not like Kendrick Nunn, who you're trying to, if you're a Lakers fan, you're trying to bank on that. Oh, he's going to get there. Patty Mills is showing you right now he's there. I'm sorry, Fred. I didn't mean to do that to you. But Patty Mills is there. He's showing you right now. So for Brooklyn to have that kind of depth that people were worried about, to be honest, coming into the year, people were saying, look at what Kevin Durant had to do. If it's just Kevin Durant, and maybe even if it's just James Harden, can they do something about it? Will they be able to survive without Kyrie Irving? Can they survive without a lot of depth? Patty Mills is showing you, look, we have enough depth to make a run. And for him, again, with that whole Kyrie situation, you don't know if he can play in Chicago next time they come here because the exemption, it might not be valid anymore. So for him to have that type of performance, it puts a lot of confidence in the Brooklyn Nets coaching staff and the players that, look, Patty can get it done when crunch time happens.
The man, Dustin. So obviously, you're a Chicago Bulls fan. Did this loss, because people are going to say this, did this loss expose the Chicago Bulls in any way?
I don't think it exposed them at all, because people don't realize is the Bulls were on the second leg of a back-to-back, playing Detroit in a makeup game Tuesday night from one of their postponements. So they were hanging with Brooklyn up until the 71-71, and Brooklyn pulled away off of one big run. So it's not like the Bulls played terrible the entire game. They played terrible for a 7-minute stretch, but that 7-minute stretch was so terrible that the final score looks a lot worse than what that game really was. In terms of a statement win, it is a statement win for Brooklyn but at the same time, it's not, because this is exactly the Brooklyn team that everyone expected them to look like when that big three were together. The only question was that big three ever going to be allowed to play together, given the Kyrie Irving non-vaccinated status and not being able to play everywhere that the team goes? And now that they saw how good this team is when all three play together, of course people are going to look at them as the favorites in the Eastern Conference again, as they should have been since day one. In my opinion, no, this was a statement game for James Harden, because James Harden is starting to look like the James Harden of old. He's averaging 29 points a game over his last 9 games, and he had 24 points and 16 assists last night in primarily a point guard role, as Kyrie Irving is still limited in minutes and things like that. If that's the kind of production they can get from James Harden the rest of the way, Brooklyn is going to run away with the Eastern Conference by the end, because Harden can play point guard when Irving is not playing. And then you have a guy like Patty Mills coming off the bench that can also get into the starting lineup when needed. And that just gives Brooklyn that much more depth and experience across the board.
It's kind of interesting that you said that about James Harden, because during the game they actually showed a graphic in how his last 8 games he's been looking even better than he did in at his best in Houston. They actually showed like a graphic like that. It was something about like his last 8 games. He's like 29. It was like 29, 10 and 7, something like it was something like that. And very impressive. It was very impressive. I'm gonna be honest here. In my opinion, I don't want to say I take no stock in this game. I'm not gonna go that far. But if you watch the game, the third quarter, they looked exhausted. And when I say they, I'm referring to the Chicago Bulls. They looked exhausted. They looked absolutely drained to the point where they almost looked like they gave up. And I remember I was watching the game and I saw Zach LaVine during that run kind of try to talk to his guys like, "You good? Like, are you dead? Do I gotta poke you with a stick? Like, are you here? Are you here?" And it's like he really was the only one out there who kind of was just like, you know, I get it, you know, they're on a run, but we went on a run earlier in this game to tie the game up. And we went on a run like 3 times to tie the game. So it's like, yeah, they're going on a run. We can go on a run too. And it's like he was really the only one who thought like that. Like after that stretch, like DeMar DeRozan, even himself, he kind of was just like whatever, you know. Damian Hernandez says, question: how did Kyrie get allowed inside the United Center to play when Chicago's on a is very strict on the vax? You can't get into a building without a vax card. Makes no sense. If I understand this correctly, they are strict on it, but it's not mandatory. It's not a vaccine mandate like it is in New York and it is in California. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, check me on it. But I'm pretty sure that it's not mandatory. I think. Now, obviously, check me if I'm wrong, because it wouldn't make no sense whatsoever if it's mandatory and Kyrie Irving is still playing. Oh, Robert Scott says, yes, it is. So I don't know.
There's an exception. So it says non-resident professional athletes are exempt from Chicago's vaccine mandate for entertainment and recreational venues.
Okay, okay. All right. So the exception is
when you go to the United Center, they do actually have people checking vaccine cards. Ticket or not, if you don't have a vaccine card, you don't get in.
Okay. All right. So it is, but it's just if you're an athlete, you're exempt.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
A visiting athlete, non-residential. So if you play in Chicago, you have to be vaccinated. But if you play elsewhere,
okay. So you got to be vaccinated if you play for the Bulls. But if you play for like the Nets or something, or if you play for like the Celtics, Golden State, or whatever, you necessarily don't have to play there.
Right.
Okay. That's okay. I didn't know that. I knew that they were like talking about it, but I didn't know whether or not it was like full blown. Okay, so it's mandatory for you if you live there. If you're not, you can come by, which makes no sense because if somebody could visit and not be.
And they can still spread the same germs, by the way.
They just don't want the season to get over, man.
Nah, dog.
That's all it's about, man.
Nah, dog. COVID's fake. It's not real. Fake news. Come on.
Yeah.
It's a mind control ploy from the government.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those that watch certain news channels, believe that.
Come on, bro. Like, do better. Like, bro, this makes no sense whatsoever, bro. It makes no sense whatsoever. But, look, man, this game, I still expect this to be the Eastern Conference Finals. In my opinion, these two are the two best teams in the Eastern Conference, and it's not even close after that. Like Milwaukee, Miami.
Right, don't let T see making that face.
I already told T this. He got mad at me. I told T this. He got mad at me. He got mad. He was like, nah. He's like, no. He's like, we can do it. I'm like, all right, yeah, come on. Settle down there, buckaroo. And I like T and all, but come on, bro. He's sipping on that Kool-Aid, bro. He's just sipping on that Kool-Aid. Dre said the state of Illinois has never been clear on anything.
Sure.
Oh my god! But I mean, if I look at it, I think it's Chicago Bulls and Brooklyn Nets. I think it's going to be one of those two. And it's like I do expect this to be the Eastern Conference final. It's going to be interesting because if I'm not mistaken, they played 3 times, right? This was the third matchup. And I think Chicago Bulls has an advantage 2-1.
I think they might have one more. I think they might have one more at the end of the year.
Do you think they might have one more?
I think so. I think that's one of the teams that they play 4 times in the East that's not in their own division.
Okay. All right. So as of now, they're 2-1. The Bulls are 2-1 against the Nets, which is something. I don't think it's going to matter about this regular season thing. Especially when you're looking at it as 2 teams like this, because playing 4, and I've said this before, dog, playing 4 times, like me personally, when you play against a team in the playoffs, your regular season record against them doesn't matter. And I'm in the minority when because I've said this before, and people look at me like I'm dumb, and I'm like, you just don't know what you're talking about, because now when you're playing somebody 7 games in a row.
Yep.
That alone changes the entire dynamic. That alone changes the entire dynamic. Because it's not like you're going and you go play someone at the beginning of the season. Now you guys are figuring it out. Now you're playing them at about 33% of the season. You're not the same team. You gel more. And then you move bro. When you're playing in a 7-game series, A, you are who you are. And B, if you get injured, that's going to make more of an impact now. Like all the little things that people usually take for granted, when it comes to a 7-game series, it gets exasperated, bro. Like it's legit. And I don't, and Robert said it perfectly, you can't use the same game plan. You can't use the same game plan unless you're Golden State with Kevin Durant. That's the only way you can use the same game plan. If you're not Golden State with Kevin Durant, you can't do the same thing. You got to go up there and say, okay, this is what we're doing this game, right? And I'm talking about if you have if you don't have an all-time great player. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Game 1, you're gonna be that guy, right? Now game 2, we're gonna work the paint. Whatever big man we have, and you have to do that. And on top of that, there's also those in between plays that you need to adjust. And that one play that happens in game 2 could be the make or break moment that costs you the series. But again, if a team goes if a team goes 4-0 against a team in the regular season, then they're gonna sweep them in the playoffs.
No,
I'm telling you, bro. In this industry, bro, we gotta watch who we allow to talk about games, bro. Because people go to ESPN and just regurgitate that stuff, and it's just buck wild to me, man. Greg, you wanted to say something?
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, we just saw that last year, wasn't it? The Nets dominated the Bucks in the regular season, and then when it was playoff time, they ended up losing that series. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Regular season doesn't matter.
I don't know, man. I just work
It's
here.
not only that, though, but this is what you would expect from the two best teams in the Eastern Conference. The Bulls took round 1 and round 2. The Nets took round 3. Who's going to take round 4? And then if these teams get into the playoff, there's a potential for this to go 7 more rounds. So it's not about like one game here or there. It's ultimately who's going to be able to win this potential 11-round fight at the end of the year.
Yep.
Yep.
And again, that's really what it comes down to. It's gonna be very interesting though. I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on it. If they play one more time, I'm gonna watch it. Because it's a nice little preview, but don't take that at face value. That's all I'm saying. Don't take the wins and losses right now at face value, because how many times have we seen? To Greg's point, how many times have we seen a team get swept? They meet in the playoffs, and all of a sudden it's a completely different animal. Yep. So, obviously do with that as you will.
I just
looked at it's better than watching the Lakers and the Kings.
I just looked at the Bulls' schedule. They do not play the Nets the rest of the regular.
So they don't. All right, so
they don't. Yeah, this was
right,
it.
So that Chicago won the series 2-1. Does that mean they're gonna sweep Brooklyn?
No,
absolutely
no. There's morons out there that's gonna think that. There's morons out there that's gonna think that, man.
And honestly, if you're Brooklyn, this actually could be a good thing for them too, because if Kyrie Irving is not allowed to play in Brooklyn at the end of the year, and the Bulls get home court over Brooklyn, Kyrie Irving gets to go to Chicago for 4 games as opposed to playing in New York for 3.
Dog, I said this. If I'm Brooklyn, I'm dropping to the 6th seed. On purpose. I am on purpose dropping to the 6th seed.
I was just thinking this yesterday. It's crazy.
And ever since Kyrie Irving returned, I've been saying that if I'm them, I drop to the 6th seed, because now in any 7-game series, no matter who you're playing, in any 7-game series, you have Kyrie for 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy? Brooklyn could just say, hey, we're just going to pay the fine, because it's a $5,000 fine if they play Kyrie at home. So in the playoffs, they could just go, okay, here's $5,000 every game.
Well, that's the fine. Someone fact check me on this, because I saw something about it. I don't know if it's true or not. It's not just a fine, because if they continue to do it, they could risk having the Barclays Center shut down.
Oh, really? Okay.
That is something I read. Whether or not it's true, I don't know. Because if it's true, it explains why Brooklyn is kind of touchy with it, and they're not,
I could imagine though, like if it's like Game 7 against Chicago and it's in the Barclays, they'll be okay. Here's 5,000. We're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. That's true. I just don't know what the ramifications of that would be. Like, is it just the 5,000, or are they gonna shut down Barclays for a couple weeks? Yeah. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, because like I said, I read something like that where they're like, you'll pay it, and then when it's all done, it gets shut down. I don't know whether or not that's true. I'm not sure. So that's something bringing out.
I'll have to look this up for you too, and maybe let you know tomorrow. But there was also a report that said if Brooklyn played Kyrie Irving at home, paid the fine that they're supposed to play, but then if the Nets were to get like an organization-wide COVID breakout because they played Kyrie, there was a chance they may not be able to play another home game in Brooklyn.
Yep. Yeah. So there's like a whole bunch of stuff. Like I read a couple things where it said if Kyrie Irving plays 3 home games, they'll shut down Barclays. Same thing with I've heard a lot of different stuff. I don't know if it's all true. I don't know if none of it's true. The only thing I know for a fact is that it's 5 Gs. That's all I know for a fact. Now after that, it's kind of murky. And again, like in Amon, to your point, if it's Game 7. And you gotta, you know what I mean, and you're playing Chicago, do Kyrie Irving that one time. If there's no, post game, because again, if you eliminate them, then they get an outbreak. I mean, they're not playing anyway.
Yeah.
Nah, that's just me playing devil's advocate. You know
No,
what I mean?
100%, because the
you know.
optics of it would be terrible. Imagine,
Oh, no,
like,
the optics would be terrible, yeah, but it's already terrible when they brought back Kyrie.
yeah.
All right,
So
exactly.
Brooklyn already told you, look, we don't care about optics. We're trying to get a chip, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're trying to get a chip, go all out. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't all of a sudden be scared now. Go all out. You know what I mean? People finna boo you anyway, so you might as well just be like, whatever. Before we move on to the NCAA, old Fredward was in the comments, and he was so sad about the Lakers. Do y'all want to talk about the Lakers?
I mean, since they lost, yeah, we might as well. Yeah.
Imagine.
I thought we only talk about good teams, though. I don't
No,
know.
because we can't, because we've spoken about the Boston Celtics.
Oh, no, that's true. That's true.
So
Definitely
we
true.
can't.
We can't say that.
Yeah, we can't say that. The purple and gold. Yo, Russ said, "I'll figure out how to get out of the shooting slump." My guy, you've been in the shooting slump your entire career.
You've been working on it for 10 years or something? What's been going on?
Come on, bro. It's and I feel so bad. 125 to 116. Right?
Does anybody know how long Russ has on his contract yet?
Matter of fact, I'll tell you right now, because if I'm not mistaken, I think it's this year, and he should have one more year, if I'm not mistaken.
Goodness gracious.
I think
Because if he has another year left, do you see any scenario at all where LeBron James is going to want him back next year?
No.
I mean, let's see. So what year? Yeah, so it's this year. He's getting paid a whopping $44 million. And then next year, his final year, 47.
I should have been an NBA player. If I can shoot like Russ and still get paid like that, oh man, I should have played. I should have played.
You just gotta take 20 shots a game. That's all it is. You know,
Yeah,
just be
that's
like, all right,
it,
I'm
okay.
I'm taking 20. I'm gonna hit 8, get a triple double, and everyone just be like, whoa, look at this.
He's literally making $500,000 a game to turn the ball over.
It's amazing, man.
What do you mean LeBron is known for team hopping?
Oh, dog.
Oh, Robert
Goodness.
said what I was thinking in my mind.
No, but that makes no
No.
sense whatsoever, though.
I
But
don't know
no,
about that
explain to
one.
me. Explain to me. How does that make any sense whatsoever?
Well,
Greg, the floor is yours.
oh, okay. Well, now that the Russ thing is not working out, if it comes down to a situation where the Lakers and Jeannie Buss say, hey, we're sticking with Russ, we owe him all this money, the money that you just said, Pride, then I could see Brown being like, look, I'm about to dip because I'm not about to keep dealing with this every night. Him shooting bricks. And I'm up here scoring 35 points and all that, and we lose. And like, I'm about to dip out of here. So
you said you can
see
see.
that.
So you're telling me that you can see LeBron James dip.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me you can see him dip, even though he never in his career has ever asked for a trade, even though he never in his career left in the middle of a contract.
No, he's never left in the middle of a contract.
So again, and then the moment Miami started to go bad, he immediately went back to Cleveland. Once Cleveland was no longer good, he went to LA.
No longer good. Cleveland was never good. LeBron is the only reason they were good.
Like, come on, son, what are you talking about?
They had the number one
They
draft
were
pick for
never
like
good.
5 years in a row before he got there. Left,
And
and
here's
they had
my
the number
thing.
one draft pick for 5 more years. Like, what's
And this is
going
the part
on?
that people forget. When LeBron went to Miami, he said, I'm going to go back home. LeBron James told everyone, look, man, I'm here. I'm trying to get my ring to get this monkey off my back, but then I'm going back home. And when I go back home, I'm not leaving Cleveland until I go and get them a championship. He laid out this plan. He done told all of us. And this is not conjecture. This man done told us, look, man, doing this, it is what it is, whatever. Why do you think it wasn't in question whether or not he was going to stay in Miami after that 4th year? Win, lose, or draw, he was going back to Cleveland.
Yep.
He was going back to Cleveland regardless. He chose a great time to go back home when he saw Kyrie there. And Kyrie was so great that when he went to Boston, LeBron still drugged that team to the finals. And let's mention the teams that he left for. Let's mention the teams that he left for. A Miami Heat team who was horrible. Horrible. And by the way, Cleveland made playoffs before LeBron left.
Before LeBron left, meaning
So LeBron was on that team. They went to the playoffs, right? LeBron James leaves. Tell me where the Cleveland Cavaliers.
No, Cleveland
LeBron
hasn't been
James
to the
left.
playoffs.
Where was the Cleveland Cavaliers? And Kyrie was so great, the Boston Celtics literally let him walk because we didn't want anything to do with him. Because without Kyrie, we took Bron 7.
Now, are we okay. Are we talking about Kyrie saving his legacy, or what are we talking about?
So okay, hold on. I'm glad you said that. No, I'm glad you said that.
So
I'm glad you said that.
I'm trying to understand what Robert is saying. That's why I'm saying.
So you think Kyrie Irving saved his legacy?
He was part of it. Him and Ray Allen. Yeah,
So you think
I've always said that.
Okay, good. I'm glad you said that. Okay, so can I ask you a question?
Mhm.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I'm not a good math guy, so I'm gonna need help. So when Kyrie Irving, when he hit the 3, right? That 3, that put them up by what? 2 or 1?
I think it was 2.
It was by 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because was it tied? So, no. They were.
No. It was tied. It was tied. I'm sorry. Yeah. So it put them up 3.
Put him up
Because
3.
I'm not good with math. I'm not good with math.
It was tied. They were missing shots back and forth for like
Steph
2
missed like
minutes
two back-to-back threes. I remember like 1 3 from the top, and then I think 1 from the corner.
Yeah.
And then Mario Spades tried to hit one. Mario Spades.
Yeah, because I'm not smart when it comes to that. So it was 93 to 89, right? Yes, 83 to 99, or 93 to 89, right? So Kyrie Irving had 26 points. Yeah, that definitely saved LeBron's legacy. Oh wait, LeBron had 27. Huh. Well, how many assists did Kyrie Irving have? Because if he saved his legacy, he must have 20 assists. Oh, he only had 1. Compared to LeBron James 11. Well, listen. Sometimes, listen. No rebounds, no rings, right? So maybe Kyrie Irving had, that's 6 rebounds to LeBron James 11. Huh. Interesting. It's bizarre. It's almost as if. It's almost as if, for impressive as that shot was, you can't say it saved his legacy. Interesting.
But if he doesn't make that shot, they don't.
Hold on, real quick. See, you LeBron fans refuse to give anyone else credit. LeBron was not winning without Kyrie. That was the year. That was proved year prior when Kevin Love and Kyrie were injured, and Kyrie wasn't winning without LeBron. Proven by the past 5 years. It's not that I'm not giving Kyrie Irving any respect. Look, that shot that he made was one of the, and I've said this before. I think I might have said it in front of you. That was by far one of, if not the most clutchest shot I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but to sit there and pretend like that saved his legacy when we need to take into consideration that when LeBron had that block, we need to put that in context. Because without that block, guess what happens? Guess what happens without that block? You're now down 2 possessions. So now that Kyrie Irving shot means nothing because you need to get that shot, right? You need to hit that shot, get a stop, and then get another shot on top of that. So without that block, who knows where they would have been? And when you're talking about Ray Allen, another phenomenal clutch shot, never going to take from him. This is the problem that you need to take into consideration. LeBron James scored, 16 straight by himself?
He did.
So again, if LeBron doesn't do that, then that shot Ray Allen hit doesn't mean anything. It's a great shot from Ray Allen, great shot from Kyrie. Kyrie is clutch, Ray Allen is clutch. No one has ever, at least I've never heard anybody ever make any argument that neither two of those gentlemen are not clutch. Because whoever has said that, bring them to me and I will slap them. No problem. But to insinuate that, they saved his legacy, that's absurd. That's absurd because, Aman, correct me if I'm wrong, LeBron beat the Celtics so bad that Ray Allen ran to Miami.
Yeah.
Ray Allen, he took less money and a lesser role to go to Miami.
He did.
could say that saved his legacy. Hold on. I'm not saying it saved his legacy. I'm saying he wants to tip the scales in his favor. That man does not want competition. But it's not that he doesn't want competition. It's just LeBron James doesn't want to always go, and he doesn't want to always be the guy to have to average a triple-double so they lose by 10. Think about it. LeBron James right now, he's got to, and Justin, if I'm wrong, let me know. He's got to drop 40 just for them to lose by 15.
For the most part, yeah.
He's got to have a superb, phenomenal game so they still lose by double digits.
Yeah, now, yeah, because
no, but that's how it was before too. That's how it was before in Cleveland. I think
Yeah,
the only place you can say, go
I was
ahead.
literally about to say that this is exactly what it was like when he took that Mo Williams team to the finals the first year, where he pretty much had to give you a triple-double every night to keep you competitive, and it didn't matter at that point. They got to the finals, yes, but for the most part, they didn't have anybody around him with a supporting cast that could do anything.
Right.
You would think that having guys like Russell Westbrook and all these other people give you a good supporting cast. They're not giving that to him right now, and now he's just basically trying to carry a team when he's at the point where he no longer can do that.
Right. And so are you saying Kyrie will always need help to be good? He will always be number 2? Kyrie Irving is a number 2. I mean, is what I'm saying controversial?
No, he's always been number 2.
I mean, like, and listen, great talent. He's a great talent. Don't get it twisted. But there's always going to be a number 1, and there's always going to be a number 2. Kyrie Irving is a number 2. Is that controversial? Is that a hot take?
No,
I don't think so.
No, Kyrie's always been
all right.
number 2.
No, okay, because I'm saying it. Like, you haven't said something that just sounds like common sense. But then when you say it, you just start doubting yourself just a little bit, thinking that's where I just was. I was just in this moment where I'm like, am I bugging? I mean, look. And by the way, and I saw somebody, where is it? All right, here. He wanted Russ there. That's his fault. I've been consistent with this. Greg, I said it to you. I might have said it to you, Aman, and I might have said it to Dustin. LeBron James needs to wear this L, and when they get bounced in the first round, before LeBron James looks at Russ, before he looks at AD, he needs to have his hand up and say, it's my fault, because if I don't say nothing, we do not get Russ.
If you don't say nothing, not only do you not get Russ, but you probably get DeRozan.
Think about it. You could have gotten Buddy Hield, DeMar DeRozan, and kept Alex Caruso. They could have had all that. And that's why I'm saying, man, look, and again, we also need to put this on Lakers management as well. Because I understand, they wanted to win and all that stuff, but I'm not a smart dude. Right, I'm not like when you see me out here kind of boasting and whatnot. This is what I call a facade, right? It's a mask. You know that Future song? Percocet. It's called Mask Off, right? So when the mask, what God, right? So I'm not a smart dude. I'm dumb, right? Like, I need to Google what 2 + 2 is, and I'll still put down 5, right? My daughter teaches me the alphabet. Okay, I am not smart at all. I say this all the time. I passed high school simply because of attendance. I would always get zeros on my test because I would even get my own name wrong. Okay. All this being known, like all me bearing my soul to y'all, even I knew that Russ going to LA would not fit.
Yep.
And I've been saying this, and I've had people call me dumb. People tell me how quick we forget and all this stuff. And I'm like, look, I understand Russ is an MVP. Just because you get one MVP, combine it with another MVP, and throw in a potential MVP and call that your big 3 doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. Because the reason a big 3 works is because everyone does something different.
Yep. Yep.
Like D Wade was able in Miami when it was him, Braun, and Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh was the big man. He was, you know what I mean? Like he could spread the floor, sure. But again, if you need him in the paint, he could do that. LeBron obviously starting on year 2 because LeBron was being timid year 1, which again is a knock I also had on him. He was being more timid, but when year 2 going forward, he was a playmaker and he was obviously the best player on that team. And then D Wade was just an ISO bucket. Same thing when you go over to Cleveland. Kyrie was an ISO bucket, Kevin Love was the big man, and Brown was just, he was the facilitator that would give you 27. You now come to LA and you have Braun, who's ball dominant, AD, who this year just doesn't care. I don't know what it is. I'm hoping him coming back from the injury is gonna kind of snap him out of it. I hope. And then you have Russell Westbrook, who again, the triple doubles are amazing, but they don't win. They don't win you basketball games in the playoffs. They don't.
Not the way he does it. Nope.
No.
Mm-mm.
And if you don't believe me, it's simple.
Hasn't he had a quadruple double too, where he turned it over 10 times in a game?
Yes. He's had a few. He's had a few of the triple doubles that everyone boasts about. There's a good amount of them that the last one that the double digits wasn't assists or rebounds. It was turnovers. There have been times where he's gotten double digits points, double digits assists, and double digit turnovers. But here's my thing with that. Like, and by the way, someone says Lakers will be better off with Kuz, in my opinion. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, they might be a little better because I guess Kuzma would play a little better defense. Maybe. But I don't think so. And so, this is how I look at it. Hey, baby girl. But this is how I look at it, man. And I've said this from the beginning, and people got mad at me, and they called me dumb. And here we are, lo and behold, yet again, time has proven me right. When they first traded Kyle Kuzma for Russell Westbrook, I said all the Lakers did was trade for an older Kyle Kuzma. Because when Kyle Kuzma was with the Lakers, he not only did not fit, but he just looked off. He just looked off. Nobody knew. Every single time we saw him on and off the court, Kyle Kuzma just looked weird. He looked like he didn't belong. Fast forward to now. Russell Westbrook looks weird. He looks off. And on and off the court, he looks like he does not fit. Lo and behold, time has once again proven me right. I'm about to yell at my daughter real quick, like I'm LeBron yelling at Russ. You better not make a mess. All right? All right. She listens more than Russ, so you feel me?
You got to put this into perspective too. You said he's making $44 million right now, right?
Yes.
You add DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso, and Buddy Hield. Their combined contract is around $37 million between the three of them. They would still have an additional $7 million to play with to add somebody else.
Yes. You would have so much room. And that's why I've been telling people nobody wants to listen to me, because, I yell a lot, right? So since I yell, I'm very mean, right? And if you're stupid, I call you stupid, right? But that just means I'm mean, right? So since I'm mean, people don't like me. Therefore, I'm not right. That's kind of like their logic. But all I'm saying, every single thing I said. Anyone here watch UFC at all?
Yeah, sometimes.
You watch it, Greg?
Sometimes, yeah.
All right, Greg. Let me know if you get this one. Call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things. Call me Conor McGregor, man, because I've been saying this for how long, man? I've been screaming this for ever. And now that it's happening, I just want to.
Well, I want to pat myself too because I said it was going to be a disaster.
Pat yourself on the back.
Me too. I'm joining.
Pat ourselves on the back.
Dustin, you're driving. Pat yourself on the back later. You're driving.
I'm patting myself on the leg.
Because I almost said, Dustin, pat yourself on the back. And I was like, hold on. He's driving. Don't do that because things will get too sticky too quick. And I will. But and on top of that, Anthony Price says, Pride Rice says 80 got the ring, he don't care no more. and that's really the sad part about it, because I believed that this was the year that Anthony Davis was going to win an MVP award. Like preseason, I voted. When I gave my preseason vote, I gave it to AD because in my mind I thought now he's gonna have to step up, because let's be honest, Russ being in your big three, I put Russ in the same category as I put Paul George. Him in your big three, you're not winning. And people get mad at me for that, but I've been saying if Paul George is part of your big three, you're not gonna win. If Russell Westbrook is part of your big three, you're not gonna win. Right? So I thought with all that, now obviously LeBron's gonna have to, he's gonna have to do his thing. And I did think this year he would be playing at a higher level. I did. I just thought I would see Anthony Davis play at a higher level. You feel me? And now it's like, bam, like forget wishing he could play at a higher level. Can he just play? Like, that's where I'm at with AD right now, dog. Like, listen, bro, you my dog and everything, you feel me? Like the Brown and whatnot, but we need to figure something out for you, homeboy. Because it's rough, man. And on top of that, it's not even just rough for the Lakers, too. This team, and Greg, if I'm wrong, let me know. I just never seen a team just consistently get a nice lead and then just look at the other team and say, you guys ready? Tag. Now it's your turn. And then all of a sudden, it's like kind of what happened with the Bulls and Brooklyn. Dustin, not to throw any salt on that wound.
No, I'm not.
The Lakers were going on a good run, and all of a sudden they just shrugged their shoulders.
Exactly.
And the next thing you know, LeBron leaves. They're up 7. LeBron literally takes a swig, blinks, looks up at the scoreboard. One possession hasn't even passed yet. It's still the same shot clock that LeBron James got out on. Looks up and he's like, how the hell are we down by 10? Like, it's wild, bro.
Pride, you say that, and like I literally had that kind of moment. I went up to take a Tylenol, I put it in my mouth, drank some water. I looked at the score, I said, weren't the Lakers just up 10? How is it a 2-point game? I'm dead serious, dude. I'm watching this like I just went to go take a Tylenol. Why are the Lakers? How are they down 2?
And that's like one of their problems. So, Greg, let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're being mean to Russell Westbrook. Matter of fact, hold on. We're gonna be nice. Hold on. Because we need to stop being rude to Russell Westbrook. You feel me? He is a phenomenal once in a generation talent.
The ice cold player of the game.
Free Russell Westbrook. Every time I see comments like that, I respond to that. That's what. Anthony Price says Russ going to make LeBron retire from the NBA. LeBron doing good for the first half of the season. Now the second half, watch his body hurt. And honestly, that's a fear that a lot of people have. But before we get to that, Greg, defensively, how are you fixing this team?
The only way, and it kind of hurts me to say it because this player cannot. He's just as bad at shooting as Russell Westbrook. But if they trade Russ for Simmons for Ben Simmons, that's the only way they can get better on defense. I will give Ben Simmons that he's a good defensive player, but he shoots just as bad as Russ, or if he's not scared to shoot. So that's the only way if they can figure out some trade, that way. But other than that, they're just not a good defensive team. They're giving up. I don't know the exact number. It's got to be like 120 almost every game. Or maybe I'm off by, a few points. But
you're talking about the Lakers?
Yeah, Lakers. Yeah. Are they giving up like 120 or something like that?
No, it's not that bad.
I don't know the
It's
exact.
like 115, 114, 115, I think.
No, hold on. I'm about to pull it up right now. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Because that's what I like. Hold on. So they're giving about 112.
12. Okay.
Yeah, 112.
Okay.
Almost
so not,
113.
All right. So not as bad as I thought originally.
Well, in their
but-
last 3, they're giving up 123. So
Okay.
Yeah.
recency,
Okay, yeah.
recency. That
Yeah, so they haven't been good all season. Now, is part of that on Frank Vogel? Yeah, if you want to put some blame on him, sure. But Russ has to play better defense. Braun, he's doing all that he can at the age that he is at. So and he doesn't want to waste all his energy, playing defense. So like I said, if they can find a way to trade Russ and get Ben Simmons in there, okay, you got a good defensive player. But
so you say Ben Simmons, huh?
yeah, Ben Simmons.
Interesting.
He can't he can't shoot, but I'm just saying.
It's almost as if somebody has said that before.
It's kind of funny that you bring up the Lakers in defense when they had a guy named Alex Caruso who was a very good defender. Who, if he was still there,
don't do it to
would have
him.
had that defense playing a lot better.
Don't do it to him, Dustin. Don't
Exactly.
do it to him.
No problem. Ben Simmons.
No, Greg, I'm with you.
Greg,
I'm with you. I've been saying they should go get Ben Simmons because are you sacrifice shooting? You're not really sacrificing shooting because Russ can't shoot.
He can't shoot. Yeah.
You feel me? Because that's one of the knocks on him. You bring in Ben Simmons. Is he shooting? No, but he gives you everything else that you need. I said that. Exactly. I was called an idiot. I was saying I don't know what I'm talking about. Lo and behold.
We need to know who you've been talking to because I feel like everything you say on here we're all good with, and then you bring up these anecdotes. I was like, man, who are you talking
to? The people who said that I was an idiot for saying that that the Lakers are gonna win. I'm not allowed to say who they are because then I'm gonna get yelled at. I'm really not allowed to. Swear to God, my fiance told me stop being mean, and then she hit me. So I was like, so I can't say nothing about that no more. And I was about to, my daughter's now just staring at me, and she's just like,
I'm gonna tell mommy. I'm gonna tell mommy if you say something.
Well, no, she'll hit me. So my fiance told her that you're allowed to hit your dad. So here we are. But the people who got mad at me for saying about the Lakers should get Ben Simmons, Freddie yelled at me. Jonathan yelled at me. Mike yelled at me. Alana yelled at me. And Anthony, Fred Word.
Yeah, Fred Word.
Right?
Yeah.
Freddie Henderson. He yelled at me, right? He yelled at me. Who else yelled at me?
He thinks he can trade Russell Westbrook for like Steph Curry or something. That's why. Yeah.
Right.
He thinks that's what that could happen.
At the time, they thought that trading Russ for Dame was a legitimate option.
That's not.
And I was saying, look, in theory, it is an option, but in real life application, it's just not. It's not in real life application. So I was like, you're kind of hinging on a 50-50, maybe Dame would come. When I'm like, I know a guy who you could trade immediately and be better. Because now you're going back to that 1-2 combo that won y'all that championship. You're going back to that. Now you're putting Ben Simmons in a position where at best he's the third scorer. And again, that is at best because you still got Melo coming off the bench. And you still got Malik Monk now, who now is playing, he's playing nice, But at the time, he really wasn't playing at that. So I'm like, look, he would be the third option, sometimes even the fourth, depending on if Melo's going off or not. And if you put Ben Simmons at the 4, do you know who he can play like? This guy who people were raving about for the longest and saying he revolutionized the position of big man. Draymond. Think about it.
No, you're right.
No, that's good.
And again, the only thing you're losing out on is the shooting, but look who you're trading.
You're not losing shooting, all right?
No,
you're breaking even, and then your defensive ability is here.
And Amon, you ready to hit the funny part? I don't even think you're breaking even. I think you're gaining because the less shots Ben Simmons takes, you know what that means? That's more shots for Braun. That's more shots for AD. More shots for Melo. That's more shots from everybody else who, frankly, their job is to hit threes.
Yep.
That's their job, right?
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Ben Simmons will fit very well with the Lakers because all he has to do is they're going to say, hey, Ben, don't turn the ball over. And make sure, Braun gets his shots. AD, when he's not injured, gets his. Spread the ball around. Just don't turn the ball over. Play good defense. Don't do nothing else. When it's clutch time,
and make a layup. Just make sure you shoot your layup. That's all you got to do. Make sure you shoot your layup. That's it.
Yeah, don't get scared and then pass it off to somebody else when you're right there by the basket. That's it.
Pride's like Thanos getting that final Infinity Stone, just the power surging through him.
And it is. I just find it so amazing. I've been saying this, and no one ever listened to me. And now you guys are saying it. And I'm like, drink it in, man. Like, bro, I've been saying
the power of the
bro.
sun in his hands,
Yeah, bro. I got the whole world in my hand. Like, I've been saying this for the longest, and people got mad at me. And I'm like, look, he's not a jump shooter. Let's not get it twisted. But neither is Russ.
Right.
And they're like, oh, yeah, he's a jump shooter. Fine, he's a jump shooter, not a jump maker.
2 of 14.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, and that's really that's what blows my mind, because now they're in a situation where if they go get Ben Simmons, you now have a guy who defensively can switch 1 through 5.
Yep.
And on top of that, if you get Ben Simmons, do you know what that means you can actually do? You could put Ben Simmons at the 5.
Yep. Rest of them.
Yeah,
Think about that.
Yeah, and
you can put him at the 5 because of his size. You can put him there and put 80 at the 4 to finally shut him up.
There you go. Yep.
And if you don't want to do that, you know what else you can do? You could put Ben Simmons at the 3. You could put Ben Simmons at the 3, AD at the 4, give Dwight a position at the 5. You let Malik Monk be at the 2, and go back to LeBron James being at the 1. Or Ben Simmons at the 1 and LeBron James at the 3, and have LeBron James have all the primary be the primary ball handler. You see all the creativity you can use with him instead of having Russ be like, all right, Russ, you're at the 1. I don't want to play the 1. The 2. I don't want to play the 2. All right, go home.
That left bench look real good, you know what I'm saying? Left bench look real good.
I'm just saying, man, it's hard being right. It's so hard being right, man. It's so hard because the thing is, the timing that I have to being right, it's painful to people, right? Because I literally look like I got a third eye, G. I look like I got a third eye, bro. Like, swear to God, bro. The reason I'm going my hair out is because I have a third eye right here and I want to hide it. Like, that's what it looks like, bro. It looks like I can just see. Yeah. Amon, you're young. Dustin, you might be young. Greg,
I'm older than Greg.
Yeah. I'll be 33 in a couple weeks here coming up.
Oh, you'll be 43?
No, 33. 33.
53?
No, 33.
But have y'all ever, like, let me know, Greg, Amon, Dustin, have y'all ever heard of that show, That's So Raven?
Yes.
Remember how, okay, so you know how she was like, how she can see into the future?
I'll stop.
Yeah.
That's your boy right here, bro. That's your boy
Stop
right here, bro. That's
Stop
your boy. All of a sudden, I'll be like this. I'll be like, Ben Simmons to LA confirmed. Like, yo, I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all, because I've been saying this stuff for the longest, man.
LeBron James wishes he had that power that he could see when Russell's about to turn it over and basically go back and be like, "No, give me the ball. You go here."
Russ, do not shoot.
Right.
Not
He's
shooting.
like, no, I want to shoot. He's like, come on, give me. He's gonna be like me talking about daughter, but she got the tablet, and it's dead. Give me the tablet. Oh man, look, man, LA's a mess, and I love it. I'm here for it. And honestly, it's not because I hate LA. I think I'm one of the only Boston Celtics fans on God's green earth that does not hate the Lakers. I don't hate them. I just love seeing the LA fans be miserable. Like, that is what I'm here for. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know what's better. Seeing the Lakers fan, because you and I, we share a kinship, right? We share a kinship where we're both Celtics fans and we're both Patriots fans. What is better? By the way, do you watch baseball?
No, not really.
I don't say if we could get a trifecta going on.
Get a trifecta.
But it's good. It's good. The dynamic duo, it fits the ear better. What is more better? Watching Lakers fans just be miserable or watching Kansas City Chiefs fans be miserable? What's better for you?
Right now it's Kansas City Chiefs fans, to be quite honest with you, man. After I saw Jackson Mahomes dance on that Sean Taylor thing, I was so tired of it. And then I hear Nick Wright every day talk about how Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback to ever strap it up. I get tired of it.
Yeah, nah, honestly,
we love Nick Wright. We love Nick Wright.
Yeah, of course you love Nick Wright.
You see his like tier ranking. Kansas City's on a 3-game losing streak. Number 1. Kansas City, what's going on here?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Travis Kelce is gonna demand a trade. Tyreek Hill's gonna hold out, and Patrick Mahomes is gonna retire. And after all that, they're gonna go get an old Jamarcus Russell out of retirement, and then they're literally gonna have just high schoolers be the wide receiver. And when they does the preseason power rankings, Nick Wright is gonna be number 1. The Kansas City Chiefs. Do not sleep on it. The organization will go to complete dog doodle, right? Like, and he'll be like, "Nah, bro, you gotta respect us, bro." And I made this joke about it. The Kansas City Chiefs are the only team that can go over and will still be put in the top 5 every single week. I've always made that joke because, it's kind of true. Sort of. I just hate Kansas City because of you, Greg. I love it. I love it. Listen, every time they lose, I be going to some of the and I will give y'all credit to this. A lot of times when y'all lose, and you guys go and because I'll go to like the Kansas City Chiefs groups on Facebook and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
More times than not, are they mad? Yes, but they're not saying they were robbed.
Yeah.
They're not
That's
saying
the good
that
part.
it's BS.
No.
More times than not, they're actually calling out their own team and saying, "Yo, Patrick Mahomes, you gotta deliver better balls. Travis Kelce, you gotta be Tyreek Hill, you gotta." They actually, so to their credit, a lot of Kansas City Chiefs fans actually call out their own team when they're on their, how every team is, they have a game or two when they're on their BS and whatnot. They'll call them out. And I've seen Greg do it before. So I just want to give y'all credit on that aspect, but I still hope y'all lose. And I'm telling you this right now, Greg.
You're not losing.
Greg, y'all gonna lose. And when y'all lose, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here for it. Because you want to know why? You know who you got gonna lose to?
Who is it?
Come on, you know who they're gonna lose to. The greatest organization to ever grace God's green earth, led by the greatest head coach and GM to ever wear half cut-off hoodies, half-sleeve hoodies. The former home of the greatest quarterback to ever grace God's green earth. Oh, by the way, his name. Because from now on, I made a bet with myself. So from now on, you know how I always say Tom Brady's legit name. My guy Bill Belichick. He hit threes on the low because his name is William Stephen Belichick.
What a guy. What a guy.
Right? Ron.
Definitely.
Ron.
Hey, fellas.
What's going on?
No, Ron.
The floor is yours. The Nets beat the Bulls Enjoy it. Have your opportunity. Floor is yours, my guy.
Wow, we getting right to that. Lord
Right to
have
it.
mercy. Last night I was looking around. I could not find my Bulls hat. I wanted to throw on my Chicago gear when I came on this morning. I was going to change my name to support for Chicago and everything. Wow. It was an incredible game. The Bulls, I'm gonna give the Bulls their credit. They was going back and forth for the majority of the game. I was impressed. It was back and forth till they probably got towards the 70s. Then the Nets switched that championship switch, and they ended the game with a bang, and Chicago could not keep up.
Okay, so now that you said that, I understand that yes, the Bulls lost by 26, but you got that 28-8 run in there, so the game is actually a lot closer than what it was. You take out that 28-8 run. Do you believe in the Bulls more today, knowing that you actually saw them keep right up with the Nets for basically 2.5 quarters up until that run?
Oh, he pressing him on the other top.
Right. As just a basketball purist and looking at it from a whole, I love where the Bulls are at, because they have the opportunity to really, come together. Like, okay, we had an incredible first end of the season. We're just now crossing that 42 game mark. Dallas gave it to us. The Nets gave it to us. I know Ron is going to come on ASAP and talk that trash about us, but they have an opportunity to rebound. I still look at the Bulls as middle of the pack, 3 to 6 seed range. I was really going through all NBA spots last night. I'm trying to figure out where DeRozan and Levine will fall, because we was talking about DeRozan for MVP. I'm still where I'm at. They kept up with the Bulls, Dustin. So I still feel like first round exit.
Ron, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
What's your basketball team right now?
The Sixers fan.
So you're a Sixers fan? Okay. I get it now. I get it. I get all the DeMar DeRozan hate now. I get it now. Because think about it. When Kawhi Leonard hit that shot, it was on the 76ers, right? Now,
why are you trying to hurt my heart?
What team was he on? The Toronto Raptors.
You need to go into that.
And how did the Raptors get Kawhi? They traded DeMar DeRozan. I get it. I get the hate. I understand now. I get why you hate him so much. It makes sense now. It took a little bit of time for me to get it, but I get it now.
That shot was painful. That championship was ours. Jimmy Butler, why you leave us like that? Yeah. But Chicago is trending up and Philly is really trending, you can say, down. A lot of people are calling the street that they've been on fluff, and they're not real either.
That's something I'll never do though. Like, a win is a win in the NBA. A win is a win in professional sports. If you win 10 in a row against the 10 worst teams in the NBA, that's not on you. You played hard.
You paid to play the game.
The only way I'll ever not respect it, the only way I'll never not respect it is if you're making your own schedule and you're purposely scheduling yourself against dog water, right? But if you don't control your schedule, I'm not gonna be like, for instance, like when the Lakers were on their 4 game winning streak, right? People are like, "Oh my God, they're all under 500." I'm like, I get it, but
did you see the stat through all? Last night was the first win Brooklyn had against the top 3 team in either conference. They were 0-9 heading into that game.
Yes.
Top 3 seeds in the West and the top 3 seeds in the East. The Bulls are 10-4. So the Bulls have actually played better.
And real quick, before I let you go, Ron, fact check this for me. I saw something. I saw like a picture a couple days ago that the Nets were 10-10 when they played anybody over 500.
Yeah, they're like 10
500 ball club. Yeah, they were like 10-10 against those, and they were like what was it, like 12 and something, or it was something like that, where like under 500 teams they had
they were 10 and 10
phenomenal
against
record.
they were 10 and 10 against teams that are 500 or better. They were 0 and 8 against teams that were in the top 3 in the conference, and then against teams with a losing record, they were like 15 and 1 or 15 and 2 at one point.
Yes, yeah.
So like
it was something like that. Yeah.
They were beating up the teams they were supposed to beat, but then when they went up against some of the better teams, they had yet to really show that they can beat any of those good teams up until last night.
All right, but go ahead, Ron.
But guys, if we're gonna do stats, what about the stat they're 13 and 3 when the big three plays together?
But
Yeah.
Do you really feel like the Nets started this NBA season and was like, let's be on go, let's put the foot on the pedal and take off, or do you feel like
here's my thing with that one though, is like, I understand they're 13 and 3 with the big three, but we're acting as if that's a small sample size, one, and two, we're acting like the big three is going to be available every game.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say to Ron right now. I don't think the Nets can go full go pedal to the metal because they don't know where Irving's going to be allowed to play or not. They already know that he can't play in Brooklyn, and I think they said last night they have 22 more games left on the road. They already know that Irving is not going to be available for 3 of those games as of right now. So as of right now, they're going to have him for 19 of 22 on the road. That could change if more stadiums say he can't play there. So yes, the Nets came into the season not being able to go basically full go because they knew they weren't going to have Irving for an extended period of time. Had they known like when they were going to get him back and where they were going to have him, I think they would honestly have a 3 or 4 game lead in the Eastern Conference right now. But they weren't able to play like that because they never knew when they were going to get him back and how long they were supposed to have him.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the iffy part about it, where I get, how they're playing, you know what I mean? Like, I understand that, when you got the big three, they're great. But the question is, can that big three even play with each other? Considering that one of your big three, like Dustin said, they got 22 more road games. He's going to miss at least 3 of those. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the reason he's missing 3 of those, I think one more game is against the Lakers. One is against Golden State, and one is against the Knicks. Somebody fact check me on that. But basically,
I think those
games,
are the 3 for sure.
Yeah, like of the 3 games, I think they're playing the Knicks one more time, and then it's one of the California teams that they're playing. I think it's one Lakers and one Golden State, if I'm not mistaken. But
so if we look behind the lens of the game, the Bulls on average this year shoot about 38-39% from 3. Last night they were 36. That's not that big of a drop off. I would say their biggest deficit was DeMar DeRozan. He went 7 for 16. That is
the Bulls actually lead the NBA in 3-point percentage.
Right. And Kevin Durant shot 70% last night. James Harden was 50%. James Harden went 5 for 8 from 3. Patty Mills went like 6 for 9 from 3. He was on fire. So the Nets were a little hot. But the biggest thing that sticks out to me is Day'Ron Sharpe, center. He went 10 for 14 at 20 points for the Nets. Like Chicago.
Day'Ron
cannot let that happen. That's kind of what we've been talking about. They need to make a move and shore up that front court.
Yeah. And if you look at what Ron's saying too, a lot of Day'Ron Sharpe's buckets came once that run started, where it was basically the Bulls just kept turning the damn ball over. It would be a 4-on-2 the other way, and they would just drop it down to Sharpe for a layup.
Exactly, because again, not against Sharpe, but let's stop pretending like he was out there dominating. Like, of all his buckets, like what? You can make a case that at least 7 of his 10 made shots were on fast breaks. They were on fast breaks when they had numbers.
4 second chances, 4 second chance off a miss where nobody got back to rebound.
Exactly. And we need to take into consideration there were a couple of the fast breaks where they had numbers and they refused to pass it to Sharpe.
Yeah.
Like during that crucial stretch.
Day'Ron led in rebounding too. He had 7. Lonzo Ball, I don't know if he leads the Bulls in rebounding, but he can't have 7 as well and be the highest rebounding.
and rebounding, but by small points, they were playing Vucevic out on the perimeter more, just trying to get more people to make a three.
I don't know, man. I've always said this, dog. I don't care what team you are. I don't care what your metrics, or if one team is shooting over 50% from the 3-point line and another is not, you're gonna lose. You know what I mean? And that's just how I've always looked. Like it really doesn't matter. Like the Chicago Bulls shot 36% from 3, which respectable. To Ron's point, it's respectable. But then you also got I was about to say Golden State, but might as well because they were shooting like Golden State. The Brooklyn Nets 53%.
Yep.
You know,
and if you
so
look at the 3 games the Bulls and the Nets have played against each other this year, the first game that the Bulls won in Chicago shot 60% from deep and the Nets shot 33%. The second time these teams met in Brooklyn, I think the Bulls shot 42% from beyond the arc and the Nets shot 40% beyond the arc, which was basically even, and the Bulls won that game by 3. And then last night you had the Bulls shooting 36% and the Nets shooting 53%. So out of 3 games, you had 2 games where the Nets were the hot team from beyond the arc and the Bulls were the hot team from beyond the arc. And then in that other game, you basically had them where it was a pretty much an even game where nobody had a lead bigger than 5 points, and the Bulls ended up winning, I think, 113-110. So we've seen it now on both ends of the spectrum where when Chicago gets hot from beyond the arc, they're tough to beat. When Brooklyn gets hot from beyond the arc, they're obviously tough to beat. But then we've seen it where both teams basically play the same style and they're making the same amount of shots where they're just going to take 48 minutes of punches until somebody has the ball last and makes that last bucket.
Yep. And again, Ron, I'm not gonna go on. I'm not gonna go as far as saying that the Bulls are first round exit. I don't think so, because you said, like, for instance, right now,
they will have to fall in the standings for that to happen. Of course.
You said what?
I said they will have to fall in the standings for that to happen. Of course.
I don't think so, because honestly, and let's be fair here, right? Right now, we're gonna go with the top 8 seeds, right? We're gonna basically pretend as if the play-in, everything stays the same, right? So, Bulls, the Chicago Bulls, Toronto Raptors, who's winning? That's Bulls, right? We all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
That's
okay.
the 1 and 8 right now.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
The Hornets, that's Bulls, right?
Yep.
Yeah. They're gonna win now.
All right. The Cavaliers, Bulls, right?
That would be,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a 6 or 7 game series, but I think the Bulls would win.
Yeah, the Bulls win.
No, don't get it. It'll be a tough game.
Yeah.
But I believe it at the end of the day, the Bulls will win, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
By the way, that's another thing I said. I said the Cleveland Cavaliers take Bulls.
They've had a ton of injuries too, Cleveland. That might be like 5.
Maybe. No, I'm gonna say 6.
I'll say 6.
I'll still say 6.
Yeah,
I'll still say 6. Yeah, but now those injuries definitely are gonna hamper them. The 76ers.
7.
That's
Yeah,
the team that the Bulls don't want to see.
Yeah.
If the Bulls get Philadelphia in the first round, I would give the Bulls a first round exit in 7 games.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is 2-0 against Chicago this year, and they manhandled them twice. Absolutely manhandled them twice.
Yeah. Embiid is on a tear.
And that was when the Bulls. Yeah, and that was when the Bulls actually had all the pieces.
Bugging, man.
Unless you got 7 straight games with 34.
No way. Get out of here, man. Look, Joel Embiid, he's a bad boy. Let's not get that out the way, right? He's a bad boy.
Yeah.
Okay? Him alone, he's not carrying this franchise.
Oh, trades is pending. Dustin, how you like Ben Simmons and what's our Tobias for the guys in Sacramento? I think they've been talking about Halliburton and the point guard. I forget his name.
De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox, yeah.
Yeah. They're gonna give us both of them, and we're gonna be sending Tobias and Ben.
Boy, if you don't take it.
I'm not necessarily sold on De'Aaron Fox. I like him as a player. But if you get Tyrese Halliburton, that's huge.
We're doing this for Halliburton, baby.
That's a good trade.
That's
a good trade, yeah.
Man. Halliburton cannot even, he won't even be able, at his best, won't even be able to spell De'Aaron Fox's name properly. Y'all disrespectful. You know what?
I'm with you,
No,
Pride.
I'm not-
I'm with you on
Thank
this.
you, Amon.
I'm with you
I'm
on
not
this one,
Matter
nah,
of fact,
I'm
now,
not disrespecting.
you know what? Chicago getting bounced in the first round now. I don't care. I don't care.
He don't stand for
I'm
no
not
De'Aaron Fox slander.
I'm
Yeah,
not
bro.
disrespecting Fox. It's maybe because I have a personal relationship with Halliburton. That's why I'm more on his camp, just because I covered him in high school and everything else. So I've known him for like 12
I
years.
don't care if you covered him, bro.
That's why I'm going to stick with Halliburton. That's why I'm going to stick with Halliburton.
De'Aaron Fox is better. That's my
I'm going to be biased and stick with Halliburton.
free De'Aaron Fox. Free De'Aaron Fox.
So
So-
let's say Toronto makes it out of the first round. They're going to
Yes.
be playing Brooklyn or Milwaukee, unless they both get 2 and the 3 seeds. Do y'all see them taking them 7 games?
Toronto's taking nobody.
Chicago?
No, Toronto ain't taking nobody.
Chicago.
Taking nobody
Chicago.
7.
No, not Toronto, Chicago. Can Chicago even go 7 games? I don't see them being able to go 7 games against Brooklyn or Milwaukee.
No, I think they could go 7 with
Oh
Brooklyn.
no, you're right. No, you're right. They won't go 7 games in Milwaukee because that's a 5-game series right there. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. Bulls in 5. I'm with you there. So they don't gotta go 7.
Bulls in 5 against Milwaukee? Or you mean
Man, if I had
Giannis
my
in
pen,
5?
I would write it. I really would, bro. Because I used to do this gimmick
No.
where, like, if
No.
somebody didn't believe me, I would write it down and show the
Disrespect for the
camera.
NBA champions.
I don't care.
All right,
I
I'm
think
going to
it'd
say.
be-
Oh,
I'm gonna
it's
say
always
that
the
if-
slander towards Giannis. Like,
No,
it's-
if the
It's
Bulls-
not really the slander towards Giannis. It's not the slander towards Giannis. It's just everyone else around him is inconsistent at best. When your next most consistent player is a role player in Bobby Portis, good luck. Good luck.
If the Bulls do not add more size, they would go 7 games against Milwaukee or Brooklyn. If the Bulls figure out how to get more size, I can see them taking Milwaukee in 5 or 6 because of what you said. Right? They don't have really
No,
that trusted
okay.
option outside of Giannis.
I'm on. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go
Can I
for
ask
it.
you a question? What size do they need to stop Giannis? What size do they need? That, by the way, that's a rhetorical question. They don't need size. Because no matter who you get, unless you get a Kawhi Leonard, who all of a sudden is wearing a Toronto Raptors jersey again, and you go get a Marc Gasol again, and like, unless you have that specific situation, would you be able to shut down Giannis? Sure. But again, this is what I've been saying from the jump. You don't need to shut down Giannis. That's the mistake people make. You don't shut down Giannis. Let Giannis do whatever he wants. And when Middleton needs to shoot, that's who you press. Drew Holiday, that's who you press. Like, you gotta press the. Go to your room. Go to your room. Go to your room. Yes. Damn it, Russ. I'm gonna trade you. Holy shit. But that's just me. Like, I don't think, and maybe it's just me, I don't think you need to go and stop Giannis. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think it's necessary because the problem is it's not a case of you having to stop Giannis. It's more on the case of can everybody else step up, and I don't think they can. I don't think they can.
I'm not saying they have to actually stop Giannis. It's more of if they don't have that size to match up with Giannis, they're going to get themselves in foul trouble. And Chicago doesn't have enough players that have size where if Vucevic gets in foul trouble, they can trot somebody else out there. That's the main reason why I think they need that size, because in case somebody does get in foul trouble, you still have other options to depend on. Otherwise, teams are just going to go inside all day on Chicago and pound it on the inside.
That's crazy. All right. No, that's why. All right, bet. So if I'm understanding this correctly, the Bulls are getting swept in the first round, correct?
Whoa.
No,
Hey, yo.
no.
Hey, yo.
I mean, like, yo, Amon, isn't that what they're saying? Because look, I don't know, man. Y'all gotta make up your minds, bro.
No one said
No,
nothing
I
about
was
getting
just saying
swept.
if they match up with the Bucks, that'll be a
Bro, no,
that'll be
there's
a
no
good
match.
series. But
Bro,
I
there's
would
no
go.
matchup. There's no matchup nightmare right now for Chicago. There's none.
So if we're being completely honest, the Bulls are about to go into a nice little slump before All-Star break. The way this is trending now, if we're looking at it, how we look at stocks and stuff, this is these 2 losses back to back is about to shape the whole energy.
They didn't lose back to back.
They didn't lose back to back.
Oh, wait, you're talking about they're gonna lose against Golden State, is what you're saying?
Right, because they beat Detroit. What was that last night? That wasn't a back-to-back game against Brooklyn, was it?
Yeah, it was. That's why the Bulls I think faded in the third quarter.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot. Then I didn't even realize it was a back-to-back for them boys.
They played the Pistons and then they played the Nets, and now they got today off, and then they're playing tomorrow.
But the Warriors are playing the Bucks tonight, so the Warriors are going to be on the second end of a back-to-back tomorrow against the Bulls, coming off of the game against the Bucks tonight.
All right, true.
So if Klay Thompson plays tonight, he doesn't play tomorrow because the Warriors are not playing him on back-to-back games yet.
Wow. I'm just curious to what happened with Derrick Jones Jr.
It looks like he's done.
You think so?
They said hyperextended knee 4 to 6 weeks, which basically is going to put you into March at that point. But on the bright side, Caruso is supposed to be back in 5 to 7 days, so they just really need to kind of pick and choose who they're going to use the next 3 games until Caruso comes back.
So there's 3 games separating the Bulls from the 4th seed, which Miami has. They have a 3-game lead to keep. If they fall to 3, they would be playing most likely Philly.
Philly or Cleveland.
Philly or Cleveland, yeah.
And Philly's not going to last because Joel Embiid is going to need to sit down.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I don't think. Look, Philly, because Philly right now they're in this. We're in this thing where it's like we got to put up this dude. We got to put out Joel Embiid no matter what, 110% every single time. We need to live and die by him. The problem with that, is you're relying on an. You gotta go, Dustin.
Yeah, my phone's about to die.
All right, bet. All right, Dustin. Be safe. By the way, you got a fact for us today?
Yeah, actually, I do. I'll give that out quick.
Go ahead.
Naji Harris was a rookie for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year, and he set an NFL record this season. Does anyone know what it is?
Most touches without a fumble, right?
Yes. Do you happen to know what the number is?
Was it 350 or something like that?
366 total touches without a fumble.
Wow.
He didn't fumble at all this year.
Nope. 366 touches, 331 carries, and 35 receptions. He never fumbled once. NFL record for most touches without a fumble.
What a guy.
I guess what? I had him in fantasy.
Those numbers are up there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let's go. I was hyped as hell. Naomi, stop doing that. But all right, Dustin, we'll see you, bro. Be safe, man. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Dustin.
All right, Dustin.
But I don't know, man. Like I don't trust me. Again, maybe it's just me. I do not, under any circumstances, trust the 76ers. And it's because they're putting too much pressure on Joel Embiid, who's gonna end up getting hurt.
Yeah, he's carrying that team right now, and he's about to run out of gas.
Yeah, it's the same thing with AD, right? If you put AD right now in the Lakers, you try to make him carry everything. He's not durable enough to do it, and he's gonna get tired, right? And and that's really the part about it that why I personally don't trust Philly. Now, if they go and trade Ben Simmons, let's see what they get. Then we might have a different conversation. We'll be able to have a whole different conversation and be able to see whether or not, they can take the load off of Embiid or, make whatever adjustments they need to make. But I don't know.
What do you guys think too many minutes a game for Embiid is?
For Embiid?
If you're coaching, what do you keep him under?
Honestly, for me, you're not touching 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. 30.
Yeah. Between 25, honestly, the sweet spot for me would be 25, 27 minutes. That would be the sweet spot.
32.9 right now.
That's too many.
That's way too much.
That's too many.
Way too much. And again, the problem isn't the cardio. The problem is you're putting too much mileage on him, and now you're going to expect him to carry you in the playoffs. And we've seen him every single time he plays, he ends up getting hurt. He had every single year, it's always something with him. And it's not like one of those things where you kind of just, go, boop, boop, oh, my ankle. Like, it's not like you twisting your ankle and you're out a couple days. For him, it's out. He's out for weeks. And to me, that's what's concerning. If it was just something like, oh, yeah, he jammed his finger, so he's going to miss a game. Because, if you jam something on your shooting hand and it gets swollen up, and that could be bothersome. If it's something like that, that's one thing. But the injuries he's having, they're not good injuries, bro. Not at all.
Yeah.
Ron.
Yes, sir.
Words are hard, man. I'm like half done. I'm half dumb right now. We all here say that we think, when it comes to Joel Embiid, 25, 27 minutes, that's kind of like the sweet spot. Are you with us on that? Do you think,
No, I'm honestly getting the feeling like this is his call. Like he set it up. He's on his dominant 30 points a game streak. Because when you look at Andre Drummond, he's only getting 19 minutes. If I'm the coach, I'm taking like 7 minutes away from Embiid and giving 7 more to Drummond easily.
Yeah,
because I see that he has Joel Embiid is overriding decisions and saying I'm staying in the game. And last night I looked at the stats because I saw that we lost, but I'm like, oh, did Embiid keep his streak going? I look at it, it goes Embiid 31 points. I'm like, okay, I know he stayed exactly in the game until he at least got 30 points to keep his streak going.
He said, I'm done. Oh my God. And this is the thing that, like, and again, I'm not saying that he's horrible. Let's just get that out of the way. I don't think he's horrible. But my concern is, do I trust him? Do I trust his body enough? And then on top of that, you need him to sweat. You need him to be trying as hard as he can. They need to go get this dude. They need to go trade Ben Simmons, and they need to trade him now. They gotta stop being like, all, oh no, maybe. They need to stop that. They need to figure it out. Because to be honest, and again, Ron,
I wish I could get in the head of Maury. I don't think he even cares what's going on in the media and what he should do. I think he's just sitting back and he's just like, I'm not going to do anything. I mean, this man had to battle against the whole nation of China on his own with drama. So I don't think he's affected. I don't think he's going to rush. I don't think he's going to do anything. The crazy part is when you're hearing rumors about James Harden still making his way down to Philly because his contract is up. So he's just sitting back and he's going to continue to wait for the offer that he wants, which is everything. And he's not getting it. The offers have reduced. We could have had Halliburton and the guy to start the season and been able to go the whole season with them two and be ready for the playoffs instead of getting it together last minute. I don't see him making a single move, although lots of offers is being discussed right now.
And that again, and that's a big problem. That really is. That's a big problem because imagine you want to try to gel now. Let that sink in. You need to try to gel now. And that's going to be a problem no matter how you look at it. That's going to be a big, big issue. It's going to be a big problem. And again, my concern, and if we're going to be honest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then 1, 2.
They met with Ben Simmons this past week. Rich Paul
and nothing changed.
Nothing changed. I was like, Ben, come on, come back.
Matter of fact, Ron, let me ask you a question. Because you're a 76ers fan. I want to get your opinion on this.
Yeah.
Would you be willing?
Go ahead.
Is that's AI, right? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the answer.
Yeah, nah, bro. Like, what a guy. Let me ask you a question. Would you? And then obviously, Greg and Amon, I'm gonna swing the same question back to you guys. Would you be willing to bring Ben Simmons back into the fold and bring him back to the team if you guys can iron out all your differences?
I'm doing anything Ben wants. That's the one thing that I hate about Philly is why I don't understand why we would treat Ben like this. And
Say that.
No, not a single soul, not a single spokesman for Philly Nation, not Kevin Hart, not nobody came out and wrapped their arms around Ben. It's like throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. We don't care in Philly, and he's done, and they're done. There's probably like 10 Philadelphia fans that want Ben Simmons back. Everybody else is.
And are you one of them?
Yeah, I'll take Ben back. If you guys need Philly Nation to go deliver some flowers or something, I'm your guy.
All right. So I just want to make sure. So you don't think he'll come back. You think there's way too much damage done. But if the bridge could be repaired, you'd be willing to walk Ben over and, drop him off at his house, knock on his door, meet his parents and all that stuff, right?
Do you guys think Ben Simmons is going to go this entire year without making any millions? Like, I was just thinking the other day, like, how is he giving up half his salary for the year? 25. How much does he make a year? Like 25 million, I think.
Yep. Let's say it's like 25. Divide that by half. That's like what? 7.5 he's left with? I don't know math. I'm dumb. No.
12.
I don't know math. That's
12.
15 million.
12.5.
I don't know math. Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. I don't know math.
12.5. 12.5.
Is that 12.5?
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, I feel like after All-Star break and Ben Simmons sees he wasn't traded, I don't see why not come back and get like 7-10 million on your contract. It's a pandemic for everybody.
Yeah, just for the money. Yeah, for the money.
Just that money, yeah. But at the same time, the way he's looking at it. He's looking at it from a principle standpoint. At least that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it has to be.
Right.
And I'm with him because I'm like, fuck all you, But all jokes aside, bro, Joel Embiid had 8 turnovers. Why is nobody bringing that? Thibault missed a layup or a free throw.
Are you talking about last night's game?
No. I'm talking about
playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoff, like against Atlanta, like when they were killing it, right? Like. And it's like, and I've always said this, and anyone who knows me knows what I'm saying is reality. Does Ben Simmons deserve some of the blame? Yes, he does. But to pretend that it's solely his fault is idiotic. I never understood why people are solely blaming Ben Simmons when everybody had a role in that collapse. Like, nobody wants to bring up Doc Rivers kind of doing what he did when he was in LA, and the Clippers choked that 3-1 lead over Denver, and he did him turning his back to the team, being all snooty. You guys figure it out.
Doc is the roll the ball out and let the guys figure it out type of guy, and that's not what we needed. We needed a Zen master. We needed somebody like Phil Jackson last year. I was hurt during that Hawks series. I was embarrassed. It was really bad. But y'all know who I blamed. I blame Toby. I blame Tobias Harris. I was ready to get him out of here.
Why? No, I'm curious because I'll be honest with you.
Because at the end of the game, he gets the space. Everybody's focused on Embiid. Where's Ben Simmons at if he's creating? And Tobias gets so many open drives to the rack, and he just was missing layups after layups after layups in the fourth quarter. And I'm like, you're getting a third of the money, to be honest, with the big three, and you aren't being as productive as you should be.
Wow. I'll be honest, I ain't with it. Excuse me. I wouldn't get rid of Tobias.
He makes up for it in the locker room.
Yeah, not only that, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's a weird thing now. It's a weird thing because, like, I don't want to trade Tobias Harris, but Greg, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I think the 76ers are in an awkward position where they might have to.
Yeah, he gets paid too much money to, just like Ron was saying, missing layups and stuff. because I was thinking the same thing last year. Watching that series, he was missing shots, and I'm like, they pay him this much to be missing in this situation. Like, it was crazy to me. So I'm like, he's getting paid almost just as much as.
And they were good shots within like
they're
15
good
feet.
shots. Yeah,
So many layups.
Yeah, he missed a lot. He missed a lot of layups. So
yeah, clean looks. Yep.
Yeah, I think with Ben, I think the cuts are way too deep for him to come back.
Yep.
Because if he comes back now, okay, the first home game, Philly fans are gonna boo him as soon as he touched the ball. Boo all the way through the game. And does he really want?
Maybe he needs to take the Kyrie package and just play road games.
Yeah, just play road. Yeah. I mean, it's too deep, and I think it was Damien that said it in the comments. Why would you want to play for a city and a team that doesn't even want you? I mean,
yeah. I mean, the only way I would do it if I'm Ben Simmons just to get the money. That's really it, to be honest. But even then, and Aman, when I said it, you kind of nodded your head. It's a principle thing for him. Do you think eventually he'll kind of just shrug his shoulders and say, because let's be fair here. Matter of fact, let me ask you this question. Let's say Ben Simmons does not play this year at all. At this point, his trade value, it's already low because of how the 76ers are portraying him. If he doesn't play at all this year, can't you make an argument that his trade value would be at negative?
Yeah. And honestly, for him, it's like, okay, if you guys don't want me here, I'm going to ransack the whole thing as I go out. I'm going to burn the whole thing to the ground on my way out of here because you're going to have to basically cut me at this point. Because honestly, if I'm a team if I'm not in a desperate situation, I don't need to trade for Ben Simmons. I don't need to take on the biggest contract out there. And for Philly, I don't think they would want him to play either because he's burned so many bridges in that front office and that locker room as well, right? When he's coming to practice and not showing up, not really doing anything. And it's vice versa. I think it goes both ways and both have played their part in this whole fallout. But it's a sticky situation. They tied their hands so much with all the money to Tobias Harris, to Ben Simmons, to Joel Embiid. They have no flexibility and they just have to go and let it play as they may. They have no control here to the 76ers, and every passing day, they're just losing their leverage.
Yeah, and it's like I said,
Pride. I hate talking about Sixers, man. This is depressing.
All right, so last topic of the day.
Find a life coach after this episode.
All right, so last topic after this. This is the last topic. I want to ask y'all a little something because this is something that I think people we're not fully accepting of it yet. Obviously, this is the third year that COVID has been around sports, and it's making its impact, right? At what point do you think? And it's difficult to talk about COVID because people are stupid. By the way, Ron, this comment is for you. Bulls and 4, I don't care.
I was so upset Mike wasn't on today.
Yeah. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a minute. Well, let's say I'm little Jimmy son of a bitch, right? I'm a dumbass. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a moron. Yes, baby girl. I know. I can't go yet. I can't go yet. Go before I trade you. I'm gonna talk to the GM.
Y'all seen that meme of LeBron standing over Bronny, whispering in his ear, and they're telling him how he's going to trade him? Yeah. That's pride to his kids, man.
But let me play. I want to start with you, Ron. Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. COVID's gonna be around forever. Forget getting vaccinated. Forget doing any of that stuff. Forget canceling the games. We should play through it. So if somebody gets sick, shrug your shoulders, still put them out there and play. Good idea or bad idea?
we're seeing it right now. Like if you look at football, college football, and NFL, all throughout the year there was COVID chaos. And now you don't hear anything about it. You don't hear any playoff teams having COVID. They didn't have any COVID issues in the major bowl games. And we know just about everybody is feeling symptoms right now. Like it's the winter. Everybody's a little stuffy. Everybody's coughing a little bit. So it's around. The numbers are rising, and they're not doing or showing any signs that they have it or dealing with it. So I think they're playing out. I think majority 60-70% numbers of vaccinations around period. So it's giving us the feeling that we're going to be okay, especially in those major organizations and their revenue led. So however, Toronto is doing something about it. I know y'all all saw that the Toronto brought the big thing out because they had the stadium completely. You can't use the Toronto stadium. That was
I gotta
hilarious.
say something about that. Devin Booker, you gotta do better, brother. I love
Devin
Devin Booker.
Booker.
Yo, he got so tight, bro. But that, he was like, get him out of here. And then he later said, nah, I apologize, we cool. So I'm glad he's able to have a little bit of fun with it.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm glad you can have a little fun about it. But D-Book, I love you, my guy. You're my dude, but do better, bro. You gotta do better, bro, because that was horrible.
Right.
But Greg, I hear you. He's just screaming because he wants to scream, because he knows that this is. By the way, if you guys have children, don't yell at them when they're just making noises. Don't yell at them because they think it's a game, right? They think it's a game, right? Mind you, to my children, I'm already a joke, right? So when my son is screaming, I'll be like, "Stop screaming!" And he looks at me and screams louder, and then I don't know what to do because he's little, so I can't hit him. You feel me?
Right.
And then when I pick him up and I yell at him in his face, he laughs even harder. So now it's like, all right, my guy, I keep a mental note because I'm like, all right, bro, hear me out. You get 14, we fighting. And for every time you disrespected me as an infant, we're fighting. Like me and my daughter, like no lie, bro, we're fighting no less than 27 times when she gets of age, right? Like we're fighting. And I tell her this and she laughs at me. So that number might get bigger. So if in a few years you see me on here live with some cuffs, you guys already know why.
Right.
Yeah. But Greg, again, like Ron said, it's winter, and when you start getting into winter, everyone's sick in some capacity. You're feeling something, right? So during this season, is it, would it be fair for people to just be like, all right, whatever, just keep going. We're not going to call it COVID. We're just going to call it like you got the flu or something and go from there.
Yeah. Of course, you don't want it to be where someone is having some symptoms and it turns out to be COVID, and then everybody, on the team gets it. So you still want to be, somewhat, cautious, but as far as like canceling games or, moving games and stuff, I don't think that should be happening unless now if half a team has COVID or the coaching staff or something, then okay, we can, move the game to a different day. But as far as canceling or like I know Toronto has the no fans, thing right now. I still think that it should be fans. And I like what the owners are doing. They're basically like, look, y'all have had a chance to get vaccinated, or y'all can get masks, or y'all could whatever y'all take, vitamins. So if you've done everything to protect yourself from this virus, why do we need to stop having fans and stop making money, off tickets? So if you come in and you didn't take the precautions, and you wind up getting sick because you came to a game and caught something and all that, well, that's on you. You should have did what you were supposed to do in order to lessen the chances of getting something. So I like what NBA and NFL is doing as far as, still having fans, and still letting the games play. If somebody is, really sick, they go ahead and let them, sit out and still let the games be played. So yeah, I like it the way it is.
Aman, you agree with him, or are you kind of just like, bro, we kind of postponing games and canceling games should still kind of, be an option?
You definitely don't want it to happen, right? Like no one wants to be like, oh, let's go cancel games, but it's got to be an option somewhere, right? Maybe not the plan B, but plan D, E, F. Whatever number you want to do, it's got to be somewhere over there because, again, this is a virus that whenever we have these kind of big pandemics, you talk about the Spanish flu virus back in 1918, that lasted for 2 years, right? And then people got a little bit immune, things kind of progressed. You talk about the swine flu pandemic that kind of raged from 2009 to 2010, 11-ish. So this is something that will come in waves, and we've never seen anything like it. And I think it's a tricky situation for everybody, and especially in sports, no one wants to see sports go, right? It sucked when we had the NBA get canceled. The NFL kind of had to do some different things. It would suck not going to games, and I think this is now the tricky situation between, okay, are we making money? Are we bringing entertainment? Or are we, trying to keep everybody safe? And I think you got to find the best way to do all of the above. So again, you got to have the different plans in place, whether that's we do 50% of the fans, we keep the fans, we do we got to make sure everybody stays healthy, because at this point, the more you just go and say, okay, you know what, we're just going to have everything full open. If you get sick, that's on you. I think that prolongs the period of time that people get sick. But if we can try to just be, okay, let's try to do everything for everybody, then we can shorten out how long this pandemic goes. It's already been 2 years since it's been afoot, 3 years since we discovered it. It's been way too long. We've all lost a lot of stuff that we've wanted to do, can't go many places. But I think the more we can do for everybody, the shorter, or at least we can close it out a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, you know what? I'm with it. I'm going to be that guy. I'm being. Let's make a COVID league. All right, we're going to make COVID league. Okay? We're going to make COVID league. If you got COVID, just throw them over there. Either that or number two, and this is kind of where I stand with this. Let's purge them. We're going to do a purge, right? We're going to make a new sport called purge, right? If you get tested for it, you're immediately part of the league. And you want to win?
You get tested?
You get tested. You get tested. Matter of fact, you know what, Ron? Nah. We gonna open up the pool. We gonna open it up. You need oxygen to breathe? You're enrolled. You're a first round draft pick, bro. You breathe and put you in there. Now survive. Do whatever it is you got to do. It's gonna be like the purge / with the Hunger Games, bro. Right? So it's like one night you got to survive everyone else, and then the next night we're gonna have like randoms, bro. Matter of fact, Squid Games it, bro. They're gonna have the people in the Squid Games, but instead of playing games, they just kill you. That's it. Because honestly, that's the only way we're gonna get rid of this Corona stuff, man.
Can I give my 2 cents?
Go ahead, Ron. Please feel free.
I love what Greg said. I love what Aman said. The biggest thing to me that I hate about the pandemic is that the rich got richer and the poor got poorer.
Yes.
And there are people in charge.
True that.
There's billionaires here. And I just hope that the motto isn't let's maximize profits in 2022. It should be let's make sure we can put out a good serviceable product and make it as safe as possible for everybody. So your goal shouldn't be to have the stadium sell out 100% capacity. 85 is fine. You don't have to get all of that profit. You should be able to get space between some people. Everybody shouldn't have to be clustered. You should be able to pay your employees good wages that's livable. Everybody should have gloves and masks, man. You can maneuver through this season. But if some folks get greedy, that's when the chaos happens. So,
and that's the thing. And what you said something very interesting. It's only if one person gets greedy. That's the sad part about it. It only takes that one individual, that one person to be greedy. And then someone else is going to be like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. I should be able to do it.
Right.
Then 1 turns to 2, 2 turns to 4, 4 turns to 8. Then next thing you know, no one cares anymore. You know?
Yep.
And that's just the sad part. And we also need to take into consideration. This is the part that we need to understand, because even just because you own a team doesn't necessarily mean they're going to sell out. You feel me? Houston Rockets, y'all selling out?
No.
Detroit Pistons.
50% capacity.
Y'all really selling out?
50%. Yeah.
Like, come on, let's be fair here. If you do it at 50 capacity for like about what, half these teams, nothing's really changing. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. Nothing's really changing. If anything, you're now increasing your capacity. If anything, bro. Like,
Right.
really,
I think it would be dope if
really
like Adam Silver or Goodell came out and said the max line is 80% or 85 or something like that. That won't happen though.
No, I don't.
They're not gonna do it.
Especially not with Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell don't care. Adam Silver, I think he'll be the closest, but I don't know if he actually will do that. I don't know if he will do that. I think
I just looked up. Since we were talking about Chicago Bulls versus Brooklyn Nets, shout out Chicago. What do y'all think their capacity was last night?
It's at least 95%.
100%.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
looking at it right now on ESPN. It's out of control. They sold out every seat.
Wow.
And I to me, it's funny. And the reason I find it funny is, wasn't this the same team that had to get shut down? Like, this is the same team that get shut down. So it's like,
well, they were checking everybody's vaccination card at the door, wasn't they?
No, they don't. They actually don't.
Okay.
Well, they're supposed to, right? So
yeah.
I do my own podcast, right? And the guy that I do it with, his name is Mike. Not our Mike, but it's another Mike, right? And he lives in Chicago, and he's been to a few games. He told me that they don't really check your card. Okay. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, they don't check your card like that. He was like, you hand it to them, they glance, and they give it right back to you.
Oh, wow.
I was like, for real? He's like, you can have an empty, like, you can have a blank card, and you can get in. And I was like, there's no way that's true. So I started looking it up, because I was like, there's no way that's true, because, you know, if the arena has a strict thing on the vaccination, you got to be checking it. And by the way, I've been trying to find this video since, and it got taken down. There was somebody who went to the United Center and had a piece. I swear to God, and if I am lying, Greg, how many times have I ever said swear to God on this show?
Not that many.
Okay, so here, I swear to God, and if I'm lying, may God torture me in the most brutal way possible and literally make me die slowly. I swear to God, I saw a video, and it's the internet, so I wanna see if I can find that. I've been trying to find it. This dude had a cue card, like one of those little index cards, right? And just wrote vaccinated on it. Swear to God, he showed it to them and they let him through.
Whoa.
He wrote it with a Sharpie, and he just wrote it right outside the thing, like right outside. He wrote vaccinated, handed it to them, and it worked. Mind you, my fiance, because she used to work at a hospital. So when she worked there, you had to get vaccinated. So I know how the vaccination cards look like. Okay, they're about the size of a cue card, right? But Greg, there's shit typed on it.
Yes, it is. Yes.
There's actually stuff. You have one, right?
Yeah, I have one.
So you know how it looks, Ron. You have one too, right?
No, I do not have one.
You don't have a vaccination card? So whenever you have a minute, Google COVID vaccination card.
I've
right?
seen them.
You've seen them, so you know how they look,
That's
right?
what it look like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know how there's like basically there's like extra stuff on it, right? There's like type stuff. This dude really just wrote vaccinated with a black Sharpie, and they let him in. So I'm like, how can you guys have a mandate and a dude gets in that easy?
Because we're maximizing profits.
That's unbelievable.
Which goes to exactly what you're saying, Ron. Like, you know, you got folks out here selling off for the almighty dollar.
Yep.
And it's kind of funny because, you know, and then something happens to them. Because I tell people this all the time.
Have you fellas been on a flight recently?
No.
Back in May, yes.
It's been this way since back in May. I was just on one for the holidays. That's our first sign. Like, there's no seats not being sold on airlines, which is the most.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Closed, contained space
Yeah.
where you're packing hundreds of people. And the fact that they're not even like making middle seats is just cut out a third, a fourth of the seats would be just that much better. But no, we're selling every seat.
Yeah. Well, they have you to where you have to wear a mask on the planes.
Yeah.
You have to wear.
But the thing is, and what's kind of awkward about it is because I be seeing videos all the time of people like being up in the air and they're saying, "Oh yeah," they take their mask off
to go to eat or something.
Like, yeah, and maybe something about like, "Oh, I can't breathe," and I'm like,
why you say it like that?
I'm like, yo, I can't breathe, and I'm like, what are you being waterboarded, my guy? Like, it's not a towel, and you're not getting water dumped on you, B. Like, come on now, bro. Like, and I just find it funny. So I be watching, and then like it always ends with the same thing every single time. You can't tell me what to do. It's my body, my choice. And then I'll be like, homie, I get it. You know, you don't want to wear it. Look, do I want to wear it? I don't. I don't like masks. I really don't. But Doug, I just want to get back to normal. That's what I'm here for, man. I'm pretty sure that's how most people are. I just want to get back to normal. Yeah. I want to be able to like, because the thing is like, because I'm from Connecticut, right? I want to go back up to Connecticut. You know, like I want to go back up there because I want to go to a Patriots game. I want to be able to, you know, go to a Celtics game. I want to go to a Red Sox. Like, I want to do all that stuff, right? But like, it's just so extra. It's just so extra because now I gotta find out which game I can go to because, you know, the games be sold out. So now if I gotta go on an away game and I gotta go to New York, oh wait, I can't, you know, now, oh, can I do that? Can I not? Like, it's like a whole bunch of stuff. So it's like, I just want things to go back to normal, bro. I want things to go back to normal. So that way, you know, when the Patriots win a Super Bowl, like when we win the Super Bowl this year, I want to be able to go to the parade, man. That's all. That's just my goal, right? Doesn't say come join me next year, Patriots at Minnesota. I might take you up on that. I might. Minnesota beat Brick though.
Yeah.
It be cold up there, so
yeah.
You feel me? I'm gonna have to mentally prepare. I'm gonna have to go into like a hyperbaric time chamber. You feel me? I'm gonna have to do what the astronauts do when they go in that room, and it's like I think it's like there's like no sound in there, or something like that. Some weird thing. But on behalf of all normal people, we just want sports to be back normal.
Yes.
This has been another episode of ASAP in the Morning. It has been your boy Pride on behalf of Greg, Ron, Dustin, who left for some reason. I'm mad at him. And Amon.
His phone died.
Yeah, his phone. Yeah.
Yo, no, it was Amon that left for no reason. I hate you, Amon. On behalf of everybody, this is your boy Pride. One more time, I'm going to hit it for the people in the back. Free Russell Move, Westbrook. Nah, man.
Westbrook's going to be competing for an NBA championship this year against the Nets.
With who? What do you mean? He getting traded to the
Who getting traded to? Golden State?
The Warriors.
He getting traded to who you think Russ getting traded?
No. I was waiting for somebody to say the Warriors is.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I get it. Okay. I got so scared.
Lakers Warriors 7 games, Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
You didn't believe that yourself. You didn't believe that yourself, Ron. Ron.
This is after Lakers just took a loss to the Kings too. So
you bold.
I will believe in LeBron until I'm convinced that I can't anymore.
No, hold on. Listen, but I believe in LeBron. Like, I love me Bron, but here's the problem. The days of LeBron, and I said it before, Greg, you can vouch for me on this.
Yeah.
The days of LeBron James literally dragging a roster, those aren't here anymore. Yeah. Now, him putting up MVP numbers, that's still here. I expect it to be this year and next year. But him single-handedly carrying a team, those days are over.
He can't do that.
We saw that. They were up 2-1 on the Suns and proceeded to lose the rest of every game when AD went down.
Yep.
And Bron was doing his part, but he just can't drag them anymore. He can't, So because of that, that's kind of why I don't think the Lakers. I think the Lakers get bounced in the first round.
I will tell you why you're completely wrong tomorrow. I think we got to go.
This has been ASAP in the morning. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Until then, Lakers out in the first round. 76ers suck. Chicago Bulls own the East.
And that's why you're a Celtics fan.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.